Awesome. All right, now go share screen. Okay, so we've got, we looked at portfolio. Let's look at the pricing booking page. Okay. This makes sense to me because you've got two photographers, not to, I guess, have the not to have the scheduler, because you need to decide whether you're going to go for Tommy or Aaron. So what I'm confused about, why aren't these pages like structurally the same? Because you have to call and schedule Tommy.
Yeah, he doesn't really take bookings. So because, when we kind of changed the website or added me to it, we didn't want to take him off because quite a few people know him. So we want to leave him on there, but he's not taking bookings. So it's kind of one of those things where once in a while I'll just get a call from somebody who's trying to book him and they can't. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like, can we lose this, like combine this page and the one that you get to if you click on get pricing? We went to the one-to-one pricing and TNT method about a month ago, and we're getting like way fewer bookings now.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking about the next thing to try would be maybe going for opt-in pricing, so I can at least get people on the phone, because a lot of people now just seem to be hitting the site and bouncing off it and not booking. So
I don't think it's TNT, it's one-to-one. That's what I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying TNT, I don't think TNT would cause a drop off. I think
no. Okay, but since we went from like having the two options, to this, I don't know if people are just seeing it and they're confused, or if they think it's too much.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think for me, I want my prices at a place where it's not just obviously, oh sure, I need a headshot. I started calling people and doing the opt-in because I was raising my prices, and I think at this price point, you need to have a connection. It's not just well, these are amazing pictures, they're very reasonably priced, of course I want to do it. So yeah, I think the opt-in is important more when you raise your prices to something like this than when it's cheaper. So I haven't thought about this before because I haven't really reviewed a website with more than one shooter, but I would think, let's see. Yeah, you could make this page when you click pricing kind of be this, that, and then you could have, maybe you could have like book Tommy, call this number, and then you could tell them that they can't book Tommy, I guess. I think it just adds another click. Yeah. These images I've seen, two of these four we've just seen were on the front page, maybe more. I feel like when you're going through a website, and I noticed I have some duplicates as well, so that's no good in my opinion. I want to see new stuff. So I saw her, like I've seen these people. So I feel like I want new images as I go through and look at different points of the website. You have so many that it's not like, oh, if they only shot 10 people, like obviously you shot a lot of people, but that's a good reason that they should not have duplicates.
Yeah, that's good.
I feel like this is kind of a landing page. And then this is kind of your home page, even though that's not the page you come to first. I feel
Yeah.
like, I mean, maybe your clients are different than my clients. I feel like my client, like, oh man, that's a lot. It's small, it's pretty small text. It's close together.
Yeah, I know. I would never read something like that. It surprises me sometimes people do come in and they're like, "Oh, all the information was great. I read everything. It was really helpful." I'm like, "Oh." I'm always surprised because I always feel like that stuff's more just there for SEO at this point. But
I've heard that you want, just like you want people to book you online if they want to book you online, you want people to call you if they want to book you on the phone,
hmm,
etc. You want to meet people where they're at. I feel like, yeah, I'm not surprised that some people read this. But I think that more people would read more punchy stuff. And so I would tend to put something like this, if you want it on the site, down further. Like the people who want to read more will find it. But I think the majority of people are just gonna be like, blah. Um,
yeah.
it's a little thing I've been talking about today is I like when quotes for groups or anything, any buttons related to corporate groups have a different color. I think Tanya was super intentional about using this purple, so maybe there's not a secondary accent color you would want.
Hmm.
What to expect during your session. You have it all written out if you think some people read it. I don't think you have much here for people who just want to like get the bullet points and understand
Hmm.
this Denver's highest rated headshot team. Okay, got that. Our approach, not reading that. I'm not reading that. Like maybe I'll watch some TV. Um, I just don't think, like just my site as an example. This is readable. Everybody, I think, would read that. This is a bit long, but it's spread out. It's not going to take you that long to read. Um, these are shortened testimonials. That's some of the biggest blocks of text I have. It's like 2 lines there, but the rest are one-liners, barely 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines. And of course, I'm just saying what I do and why I do it.
Mhm.
I think I could benefit from something more like what you have on my site, on your site, but I wouldn't get rid of any of this. I think this is consumable by anybody. So I would think about, one thing I notice about this site is it's pretty narrow too. It's like a little more than half of the page in the center,
Hmm.
which I think makes it feel more cramped. If this took up this whole right side of the page, it would be much shorter, and I think it wouldn't be as many lines. So I think the lines make it feel like it's a lot, even more than it is. So I'd focus on, if you haven't read StoryBrand, figuring out good language for your sessions and making it very readable. And then if you go with making this page, a booking page for you, call if you want to book Tommy, then you can I would think you could get rid of this and this and that tab. And I guess, it seems, Tommy was very intentional. I think he wants it this way. So if you're not going to get rid of the portfolios, I guess I would keep that there. Testimonial. I mean, this page looks not up to what the rest of your pages.
Yeah. Agreed.
It looks just, HTML. Contact. I would just have contact information clearly visible on this page and at your footer, which I'm moving. Yeah, there's contact information on your footer at the bottom, at least. So I think you could eliminate that probably. Eliminate that. So you'd have info and rates and portfolios. Then you would have your home page, your landing page. You could get rid of testimonials, get rid of contact. Maybe you even put your contact information down here, but don't have a page for it. Then you've got this landing page, the info and rates, group rates, and portfolio. Is it portfolio or portfolios? I've seen both. Little thing, obviously, no one cares. It's not gonna get you any clients, but it says portfolios there, and it says portfolio there. So it's a different kind of website than I'm used to seeing for headshots, and I like it, and I probably wouldn't do it this way if it were me, but I think it's interesting, and you know, it was working before we broke it.
Yeah.
So
So just quickly, if we were gonna go to doing the opt-in pricing, how would you do that in here?
So I would just have this price. I wouldn't call it a book now page because you can't book now. Pricing page leads to here. I would just call this pricing if this is pricing.
Yeah.
And not pricing, and book now and info and rates are the same page. And then how would I do this with two shooters? I would probably just say to book Aaron or Tommy, fill out the form and have the form on the left side like I talked about, and then some information about how the sessions work. You know, I think you do different sessions, but Tommy really isn't doing sessions, so maybe, you know, if he isn't shooting, just put on his page, if you keep his page with how his session works, just make it the same so you can put here are how our sessions work. And fill out the form and we'll call you, or fill out the form and get more information. Then you forward them to a page that's more like this.
So normally when you do the opt-in pricing, you're going to collect their information, but then send them to a page that has the pricing, right?
Yes, you redirect them to a page with the pricing, a calendar. And you start them on an email drip campaign where they get emails about your services, and with buttons at the bottom of the emails to go to the page there and the pricing, and you call them. Yeah, and I think then I have this on the home page. I think because you're calling them, I would probably just take all this out and just explain how the session works. Like, you don't want them getting down here if there's a booking calendar. What's this? See, yeah, I think that makes sense to be. Okay, I think that this should be on this page.
Right.
This goes there. Yeah. I also think it's weird to have your face there, because I was thinking one was Tommy and one was you, and then I realized that one had hair and makeup and they're both you. And you have it right here. Nothing's wrong with this page, but I've learned to think about what hits me first. Just like in headshots, when you're like, oh, I'm looking at the ear. And then you're like, but the expression is great. Well, like, you looked at the ear first, so maybe you should tone down the ear. That's what came to mind first, and it doesn't mean it would come up to everyone's mind first, but I think it's worth noting that that's what I thought first. You don't want people confused even if they figure it out. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, obviously love your work. Work's amazing. And get rid of this contact page because they can contact you. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Anything else? Any questions about that? It's a kind of a unique situation.
I have a question for Aaron. You said that you went to one-to-one about a
Yeah.
month ago and you seen things drop off. So like, was your pricing somewhat equivalent, just higher session fee, lower image fee?
So we had we were doing sessions or packages like or whatever. So it was 325 or 450 were the two options. And typically have about 8 or 10 people a week would just book and come on in, no problem. And yes, that's just really dropped off. So
How have your sales been with the people who came in?
well, pretty good. So I've done a handful of these sessions since we changed it. The first guy bought 7 images, so that was good. The next person bought about 4, and then a lot of people are have just bought 1 or 2 because they're getting sent in by their company or whatever. That's really all they're only ever going to get. So I definitely see the potential of it. I just got to get more people through the door now.
Yeah, you have time, right? I think for me, that's the whole thing. Is I'd rather have fewer clients that pay more, and be able to work from home and flexible. Like, hey, I got to take a 10-minute call and see if I can book this person. I didn't. Okay, I didn't leave my house. So yeah, it's built to be less volume and make more money if you get a minimum volume. But to me, really going to one-to-one usually means that people should go to opt-in so that they can actually talk to the people.
Yeah. Has anyone else had the same experience where they changed to the one-to-one and then had bookings drop off?
I can't really even answer that yet, Aaron, because I'm somewhat still kind of new to a lot of this, but I finally had the balls to raise my prices, and I feel like I'm just as busy. I had a lull last month, but this month is starting off really well.
Yeah.
But I've often thought about doing the opt-in, but this is a side thing for me. So like, I want people to just have the information, not that, like John was saying, I need to take a phone call and explain how my business works. So
yeah,
I'm trying to let that website do the work for me, I guess. But
and I switched to opt-in when I switched my pricing to one-to-one, so I don't have experience without opt-in with one-to-one.
Yeah. Okay.
And are you doing collections? Did you present collections for these?
Yeah, we will be doing that. I don't have anything printed yet, but yeah, that's definitely part of the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess that you have great clientele, but I think that this does require just a bit more explanation in person and a connection and be able to answer questions.
Yeah.
So I think you went from like your higher package was 450, 425.
450, yeah.
And so now an image and the session is 495.
Yeah.
So you have gone up in price for the minimum level investment. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just takes a little while to get people in. I think that we kind of battle ourselves. Like, I don't exactly believe in the law of attraction and stuff, but I feel like it does seem like when people raise their prices, there's a lull, even if it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Or even they don't really seem to change anything, but it just picks up after a few weeks.
Yeah. I'm definitely hoping that will be the case. And, I'll write it up for a while. We'll see what happens.
I think the opt-in is very important. And especially now that bookings have gone down.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to do opt-in unless you just want to go back to the way you're doing things before.
Yeah, I think,
when the website is creating unassisted bookings, 8 or 10 a week, it's nerve-wracking to put in the opt-in because you're like, what if that goes away? But that's gone away. So
it already has. It's already gone away.
Just drive yourself into the ground,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing to consider too, man, like spring break was just going on too, like,
Well, I get an alert on my phone every time somebody goes on the website through the Chatterbox. So I often go
Right.
on and watch what people are doing. And
Yeah.
people are just kind of hitting the page where pricing is described and then just dropping off there.
So let's quickly go back. I'm tired. Let's see, and I want to give anybody else a review, but if we go back here. So where the pricing is, you said.
So yeah, they'll go, so hit info and rates and then click on get pricing schedule. Yeah, and this is normally where people would come on here and then go through to the schedule now, and they're just not doing it.
They went from here to there.
Normally, yeah, normally people, yeah.
So
would go
the
to
part that explains why it's awesome is down here. So like, to me, it's like, no wonder
right.
they didn't see like what to expect during your session. I'm sure this says a bunch of stuff about how awesome it is shooting in a variety of poses and backgrounds, reviewing images to fine tune, ensuring you were completely satisfied. They don't see that. That's why this should be on your homepage, so that when they're like, oh, what do these guys do?
Right.
They know, like, oh wow, this seems like they really have a good system for people. Let me see what pricing is. And then they can hear like, oh, it's high. I knew it would be high because it's so great.
Yeah.
It could be, that could be part of it. I don't think that's all of it, but
I do agree though on the comment that homepage does feel like a landing page, sort of.
an ad.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, your work is awesome. Like, I love your work. Like, a top fan.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Well, they hate you, buddy.
Yeah, I think maybe swapping some of that stuff around.
If John and I find ourselves in Denver, can we hang out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Also, when I was looking at it on my mobile and the images were loading for a bit, do you ever use JPEG Mini for your?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
all those images are, anything we put on there is under 500K. It's not huge.
It could be my internet, but on the portfolio page, it took
It took a minute, yeah, and then they all jumped in at once. Yeah.
I was like about to say, like, these are taking a long time, and then it did. So I mean, it was what, probably 80 images on there.
Yeah, maybe we could cut that down a bit.
Yeah. All right, cool.
right,
Who else? Anybody? You don't have to have me look at your website if you don't want to, but I'm here and I'm willing. Just pop it in the chat if you want. Okay.
You can do mine next month.
Okay. Can you put it in the chat, please?
Not now, because it's gonna be totally different. Pre-pandemic, I was getting to one-to-one. I was just starting. Boom, pandemic came. My best client gave me different kind of work that kept me afloat all through the pandemic and through now.
Yeah.
So I've like moved away from. I did photography for them, but they gave me other stuff. So I moved away from it all. So I kind of get to start from scratch locally. Like I gotta, because I haven't been doing anything around here, and this is where I want to be. But I've been working with trade groups, construction groups in New York, doing other stuff. I used to do the photography. Yeah, I used to do the photography and some writing and copywriting and all that stuff. So I may have a whole new site. I might change my name.
Oh wow.
Constance.
What did you do in New York that you need to change your name?
I was born there. I may use Constance Kennedy. Connie Kennedy's taken. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, like that's like it's like so not my persona, but I think it works trying to go for a luxury brand.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So
All right.
I don't know whether to do portraits or photography or just my name, but I'm kind of at that stage.
Okay. Well, we can play it later.
I also, I did Peter's workshop, but I didn't close my studio, but I didn't use my studio, my little downtown thing. So I'm trying to, we have a little barn. I think I mentioned that before. I'm trying to, we rehab the barn and trying to set that up. So now that it's warm enough, I need to relearn using his lights. So my big question is, what's the minimal number of images that you'd want to see on a site?
Probably 4 absolute minimum.
Oh, no, I've got that already. I've got,
Okay. I mean, like, I like the 2 rows of 6, so 12, and maybe, at least 3 more throughout the site. Depends on how long it is, how long the page is, but yeah, like 20 is good.
I think if you have 20 or 30 though, that you could kind of pick from, that would be good. And John, I really liked your suggestion of like when I'm talking about team or office headshots, like, yeah, like I do have probably 4 or 5 groups. I could just, I should really have that in there. That was really good.
Yeah, good.
yeah, I really, I'm sorry I missed the first half. I'm sorry, it sounded like I was jumping on you when I came in. I was like defensive and I missed the first part and I felt really badly. But just to be here for when I've been here, this has been really helpful. So thank
Good.
you.
I plan to post last month and this month's in the archives by the end of Wednesday. I'm
Yeah.
shooting all day tomorrow, so you can watch the replay.
Yeah, I haven't, I think I saw December or something and that was it. Or-
Okay, let's do wins real quick, John.
All right. Okay, March was really, really bad. But I did get that collection. So that was a win. But April started off pretty strong. I changed some out my availability a bit. I kind of fucked things up a little bit on my website and I didn't realize it. Now they had 1 time slot available. So I have now changed that. And since I've done that, I am shooting tomorrow, I'm shooting Wednesday, I'm shooting a group on Friday, and I sent out a proposal last week before I went on vacation for an on-site gig, 11 people, and that's on Wednesday of next week. And
Oh,
then I got a few more bookings this month. So
that's great.
yeah,
March,
so
first half of March was slow for me. I posted about, I think I booked 1 session in 2 weeks.
Woo.
But then I booked 15 sessions in 2 weeks. So
wow, that's awesome.
I didn't shoot most of them in March, so they're mostly this month. But yeah, it was super slow for me too. That's amazing, all that work. It's amazing what you can get when you're available to work.
Right.
People actually have a time that they can have you do the photos. Cool. Aaron.
Yeah, so I had a really good month before changing my pricing, so that was awesome. And then I considered changing the, going to the 1-to-1 pricing a win as well, because I've been putting off doing something like this for a long time. So it's good to get it done. Now I just got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah. Connie,
I'm here.
you're here. That's a win.
Did you say me? Did you
Yes.
say me? Yeah, I'm doing other stuff. So I have wins in my other stuff, but that may not all.
You can share something. Doesn't have to be financial.
Oh wait, my video went. Okay. Wins in my other stuff. Some wins with the Construction Industry Council, because part of what we do is we track down these scholarship winners. And again, there was a drought and we get paid when we write up an interview and whatever. So all of a sudden we got a whole bunch of them. So it's like sales calls, persistent counts. I did a mind body stress reduction certification.
Oh,
That's part of the market. Yeah, I had like an 8-week program. That's part of the market I want to go after.
Okay.
The yoga people and all that. So I'm just about done with that. So
cool.
yeah, I'm looking for. Remember when people used to get their colors done?
Colors done. I don't know what you mean.
Anybody here? Guys, you're all guys. Come on, some guys had to do it.
Nail polish.
No, you'd go in and people would find out traditionally there were winter, spring, summer, or
Oh,
fall,
yeah. You're
like
talking
that.
color swatches.
Styling, yeah.
like swatches, except when I actually had it done whenever in grad school, they didn't use that scenario. So I'm looking for a really good, I'm making work for myself, but I'm looking for a really good certification program to become a color specialist.
Cool.
Because I think that would be an added lure,
Yeah,
and it's something that's been forgotten. So
that's cool.
if anybody finds one, yeah, now I got the mind body thing going. Now let's go get the colors.
Do you know David Shoukry? I think he
No.
says different. Shoukry. Search him on Facebook. He has an awesome portraits group, and he's super into color.
I'm sorry, I dropped my pen.
SHOUKRY.
Yeah, he's awesome with color. He's obsessed. He knows a lot, and it's
He's the best, dude.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because yeah, and I do love black and white, but I just think I love color too. I think this would be added value service,
Absolutely. Yeah.
added price, added product.
And in the spirit of education as well, Kate Woodman is another one who has a nice tutorial out there on color.
Thank you.
Hers is a little more scientific, but if you look at David's work, it's just gorgeous. So he's very inspirational. Wouldn't you say, John?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
awesome.
your site is inspirational, both John. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
All right, Jared wins.
So this for me was my busiest month ever.
Awesome.
My previous busiest month was 18 headshots. And this month was like, I think I booked 24, but 2 people had to like cancel kind of thing. And so, we'll have to reschedule them kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super busy month. And revenue wise was my best month ever as well. And
What was it?
What was the revenue?
Yeah.
So I think it was right around $19,000.
Nice.
Came in just shy of 20K, which I've been trying to break. And there was like two invoices I have that are still outstanding for like $1,000 that would have done it. But one of them was for a group thing and they're still getting budget approved before they're going to pay type thing. I don't know. And then another person who just has a outstanding invoice for their images. So
Well, close, really good.
I think Jared's leaving something out though too.
What are you leaving out, Jared?
oh, the headshot of the week. I won headshot of the week.
Oh, that's big.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
No, I mean, I just, yeah.
He's
So yeah,
having trouble
won the
keeping
headshot of the
track
week.
of all of his wins.
Peter gave me a shebang, which
That's-
was awesome too. Just the fact that it was Peter giving me a thumbs up and not just a fluke of a win because everyone else has had a ho-hum headshot in there or something.
Was that last week?
The week before?
I don't think I saw it posted and I didn't see the thing, but
Gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
that's awesome. I never was able to do that and I wish I had been able to, but congratulations. I'm still happy for you, even though I'm a little bitter.
You really never get one headshot of the week?
I never won it, no.
Oh wow.
I got first in the poll and Peter said it wasn't that good. It's like, okay.
Hey, John, from all my mindfulness training, there's a word called mudita,
Yeah,
and that's joy in somebody else's success.
yeah.
So there you
With a side of bitterness, is that included?
you're not supposed to be there. Hey,
Okay.
can I make a really, really trivial little point that can make a difference on a website?
If it's really, really, really trivial.
Yeah, when you were talking about phone numbers before, and you were talking about spacing. More than that, I've been told drop the parentheses altogether and just use periods, because when we use parentheses, we're dating ourselves. We're
I
aging
use
ourselves.
periods because I'm a millennial.
Yeah, but for the rest of us who are not, by a long shot,
It's simpler and they do it in England, so that's where I learned it. I was like, I like that. It's just simpler. But
it looks prettier. It looks prettier.
Yeah.
So, John, I think it was your site you had parentheses.
did
Yeah.
I?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah, you might
Oh.
want to drop the parentheses
Uh.
because John was talking to you about the spacing, but just drop the parentheses all together and put it all together with 2 periods in it. And
yeah, I'm
you take
definitely
off
gonna
like 10 years.
make a few tweaks to the old landing or to the old page. So
You
Thank you.
take off like 10 years.
you know what's funny too is I do periods like outside of that,
Yeah.
like at work,
Be you.
everything else.
Be authentically you, John. That's what people love. If you're fake with the parentheses, they'll smell that a mile away.
They'll fucking come. Maybe, dude, I'm gonna make that change,
Yeah.
Connie, and I'm gonna get like fending people off with a stick. I'm gonna have to raise my prices.
Yeah, yeah, you can give me a credit on the page.
I will. Connie said so.
Just
Yeah.
referral money. Just thank you money.
Oh,
How can I
percent.
SEO? I got to SEO that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Can I share my wins?
Yeah.
You probably all know, so I won't spend any time on it, but I got to pick up my parents' new Mercedes that we bought them. It was pretty crazy. And I started my salesperson today, and I think she's the perfect fit. She was a fan before because I shot her at a networking event. She's got 28 years of sales experience, and some of that was sales management experience, managing a team, and some of it was being a sales trainer. And she's read Grant Cardone and she loves it. And she's more excited today after we spent some time going over how I work and how it will go down. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think it's going to work out well. Her first goal is 750,000 in a calendar year. And she was going over her contacts, reaching out to them today and telling me about who some of them were in it. It sounds like she has a really good network. So excited about that.
Cool.
I doubled last year's first quarter. And so I'm hoping that I keep doubling it. As we go through the year, that would put me at about 880, which is very possible as groups come back that I would keep doubling it. So I'm like 4 individual bookings behind where I want to be for individual bookings, and I'm much further behind on groups and video and portrait sessions, and I think I'm right at where I want to be for new hires. So I got to get the groups going and everything will be great. But those are my wins. Thanks for chatting, guys. I hope the website stuff was helpful, like especially yours, Aaron's. I'm like, I feel like there's a lot to change and
Yeah.
big situation. And I think, some of the things that I said, like the big pictures, I think they work much better than the big pictures normally. So I don't know if I'd change those, but
I feel like those big pictures are the whole reason that page is even there, because it is just a landing page. You know what I mean? I feel like that's its only real function is to show those big pictures.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mention this, but I didn't really like how it like scrolled a little bit
Right.
on the right. Like, why not just make it so they're the same height? Maybe
Yeah.
taking out a couple of those links to other pages that will be gone
Yeah.
might make it not scroll at all. And I think that would be an improvement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the
All right. Take care.
Cool. Have a good week, month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later, everyone.
Bye.
Adios.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Yep.